This is Horns Up. I'm Animesh.
And I'm Peter.
And yes, it's kill, marry, fuck time. Woohoo! That also means we need a third. And who's our third today, Peter?
Wow. So this has been, I think, a long time in the making. And I have to do this introduction justice. So this goes all the way back to 2012 when I first came across this band all the way from Jordan called Who Will Guard the Guardians, because they did a split with my friends in Billy
Two
Bob's
horrible names.
Content Brew. And yeah, that's when I first heard about Adnan. But since then, he's relocated to Dubai. And for the last 3 years, he's been doing the Unmuted show, which started off on Facebook, Twitch. And yeah, it's sometimes just fun at the end of the day to tune in to the Twitch streams, check out what music's playing. What I really love, though, and I have to give you props for that, Adnan, is you've kind of built this community online, right, of people from all over the world. How many of you actually met?
So it's crazy because there's been people meeting from around the world. Like the other 2 weeks ago, a bunch of them met in Amsterdam.
Oh, wow.
And just hung out. And now there's projects like a bassist from Germany met the vocalist from Amsterdam, and now they're collaborating on a music project that was all just met on Twitch and stuff. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. It's absolutely crazy.
So after being on so many of your streams and listening to, finally, officially, welcome to Horns Up, man.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you. It's been, like you said, it's been a long time coming. I've been, I remember the good old Trent Crusher days from way back in the day with Sari Bibi and I think you guys did Nerf Cell as one of your firsts.
Yeah, that was our third episode. Wow.
With Kevin Foley, and I remember listening to that, and that was a big inspiration for me to start like all the stuff that I did back then with Have You Seen That? And we had Camelhead Podcast, and we did a bunch of different things, but that was the first time I heard like local scene talking about local scene, and I was like, "Fuck, we could do that!" Like, people listen, right? And it's just and it's been downhill ever since. So thank you, Peter.
Yeah, cheers, man. I really appreciate it. Never really thunk something that I started on a whim in 2007 would spiral into this, and here I am sitting with Animesh doing this.
Yeah, it's been crazy, and I fucking love listening to your podcasts as well, you guys.
Ooh, thank you so much for saying that.
This was not a sponsored plug.
It's sponsored. They're paying me in beer.
Alrighty then. As I said, it's kill, marry, fuck time. So I've done this slightly differently from the past few times we've played KMF. We haven't played KMF in a long time, but yeah. We aren't only talking about albums, although the first 4 sets that I've got will be pure albums, and then we're just going to have some fun and try and get a lot of opinions. Everyone who's listening, besides the two of us, if there are any, try and play along. You guys know the options. It's kill, marry, or fuck. Kill means that it perishes. Whatever you've chosen to kill perishes instantly. You can't listen to it at all anymore. Marry means you can listen to it forever. You can always listen to it whenever you so choose. And fuck means you can only listen to it ever once again, and then after that it perishes. So, boys, are we ready?
We're ready. Yeah, and I'm going to one-up them. Everybody that's listening that's from the tribe, everybody that's on Discord, we're going to make a channel when this episode comes out, and I want to see everybody's answers to these questions. Everybody better do this.
Nice. Alrighty then. Let's start off with the first set, which is albums. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is pure albums. So the theme as such is 3 albums from one same band, right?
Wow.
And the first band that I've chosen to kick this one off is Iron Maiden. It's nice. It's easy. Peter, start this one off, because the 3 albums that you must choose from are The Final Frontier, The Book of Souls, and Senjutsu.
Holy shit. Okay, let me get this straight, because I just don't want to fuck this up. Fuck. Oh, wait. Okay, I think this is easy. Final Frontier, kill. Like, fuck that shit. I mean, seriously, dude. Book of Souls, I will fuck. and Senjutsu I Will Marry. Why did you make it so easy? Because I thought you were gonna like.
Oh, this was
really-
easy for you?
Well, come on. I like from three of them, I've listened the most to only one of them. So yeah. Go on. Adnan, go for it.
I have a little bit of a thing to admit. I don't like Iron Maiden, you guys. I don't I don't like Iron Maiden, so I don't really know. I don't really know these three albums because I think Number of the Beast, Brave New World, and like I know the flagships. I can hum along to Fear of the Dark. Like that's my level of Iron Maidenness. So
Okay, would you have heard any single from these three albums at all? So Senjutsu was the latest one.
Yeah, I hated that one. So probably
Okay,
probably
the
kill
Book
that
of Souls had the one which is the longest Maiden song ever.
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I probably fuck the Book of Souls.
Okay.
And marry the Final Frontier. Just
Wow.
Okay.
I wish you did it just on basis artwork. But okay.
it was it's more of a instinct, you guys. It's more of
Alrighty. This
Animesh?
one, yeah.
I like that it stumped you as well, by the way.
Yeah.
No, it is. It has stumped me because the Final Frontier actually has songs which I really like 2 songs or 3 songs which I really, really, really like. The Talisman, where the wild wind
blows, yeah.
blows. Yeah. The Book of Souls, I really can't remember a lot of the songs now. Okay, I'll fuck the Final Frontier, I'll kill the Book of Souls, and I'll marry Senjutsu too. Yeah.
Okay. Not bad.
Not
At least
bad.
some
we got the
consensus.
whole spectrum, you guys.
Not bad. Not bad. Okay, cool. See, that wasn't a unanimous decision at all.
Yeah.
So let's make it a bit more easier then. Let's move on to another really huge band, Metallica. Okay, Adnan, I want you to start this one off. Hopefully you've heard these 3 albums. Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All.
Fuck.
Okay. Ride the Lightning, Master, and Justice. I probably fuck Ride the Lightning, marry Master. Oh no, no, I don't. But Justice, you want to marry Justice, don't you know? I'll probably have to kill Ride the Lightning.
Wow.
I know it's really hard, but Master and Justice, I can't kill one of those. There's no way. I'll probably marry Master of Puppets and fuck Justice for All.
Interesting.
A nice proggy one night stand, but have the legacy of Master with me forever.
That's an interesting way of looking at it because that's what I was thinking about too. I'll probably kill Master of Puppets.
Why?
My heart skipped a beat. I was like, oh no, don't do that.
I still think that Ride the Lightning. I mean, Master of Puppets perfected Ride the Lightning, but if there was no Ride the Lightning, there wouldn't have been a Master of Puppets.
This is very true. That's exactly what I was thinking of first. But with the production, I'm also thinking like I'm gonna have to listen to this fucking thing. Would you listen to Ride production or Master production?
If you say from production angle, then you'll probably all of us will kill and Justice for All.
Yeah. I think that would have been. I was assuming that's going to be the unanimous one.
No, that's not. No, I really love and Justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Bassists say it.
I'll go with that then. I'll kill Master of Puppets. I'll fuck and Justice, but I'll marry Ride the Lightning.
Nice.
And you know why I laughed, Adnan? It's because Animesh is a bassist. So it's like, fuck you.
Hey, it's the only and Justice is the only album that I can play along to while keeping the entire album as is on the.
Just play to the Master.
Just
you don't
play
need
to the
do-
Master itself. Exactly.
Oh, God.
Peter, what will you do?
So
You're killing and Justice, aren't you?
yeah, and I'll tell you why. You know that girl that flirted with you and but you could not have her. That for me was like Ride the Lightning
So it's-
kind of thing.
Oh, that's
So, but-
unrequited love.
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? I mean, like I remember listening to, and I think that's my story with most. I think at this point, everyone's like, fuck, he's going to talk about the time he bought that CD. But dude, Ride the Lightning, I could fucking listening to it. I mean, like what Adnan was saying, I'll take that, dude. Like I was like, yeah, I'll marry that.
Okay.
And so I killed Anne Justice, married Ride the Lightning, and fucked Master of Puppets. Just like the long, slow way. Because like the way I look at it is just, like from three of them, like Master is the hot one, right? Like good production, everything. So yeah.
That one's a keeper.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. Let's move on to another famous band, but not maybe that big, Opeth.
Ooh.
Oh. Say it, Adnan, please.
Say what? The
Opeth.
Obeth. Your voice has to go lower when you say it. You can't say it high
explain
voice.
that in joke. What's the in joke?
It's just every Arab talking about the band Obeth has to say it in that particular tone, and in that there's no P. It's obviously a B, and then it turns into a kind of a U instead of the E, so it's Obeth. Like it morphs depending on where you are in the Middle East.
Alrighty, that I didn't know. But okay. Peter, start this one off. Damnation, Blackwater Park, and Ghost Reveries.
Damnation, Ghost Water Park,
Blackwater Park, and Ghost Reveries.
Blackwater Park. Okay, so it's very simple for me, dude.
Okay.
Marry Blackwater Park. I mean, that fucking album is like easily one of my favorites, and yeah, no matter what. Shit, this is hard, but I'll have to kill Ghost, man. Like compared to these two, and it can be very interchangeable. Like I'd love to marry Damnation, but then I don't know. It's good for like a one night stand after all that Blackwater Park. So yeah, those are my picks.
Okay, Adnan, what about you?
I would definitely kill Ghost right off the bat. I agree with Peter. Like,
Wow. Okay.
if it's up to those three, the competition's actually between Blackwater and Damnation. I don't I barely remember Ghost was part of the albums. Just like that thing can go away. I think based on these two, I'll probably fuck Blackwater Park and marry Damnation. I think it's one of those albums that you could just, it's steady, but you can't get bored of it. It has a lot of dynamics, but like in a closed range, I think. It has a lot of good and very iconic songs.
I'll probably kill Damnation.
Right away.
Like acoustic.
That's my wife, man.
How can you do acoustic? Really?
If Damnation didn't exist, would Opeth still be metal?
Oh, yeah.
Probably not. Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, shit. I can hear like friend of the pod, Aditya Rao, being like, "What? Opeth is metal? Fuck them."
Exactly. Think about that, right? If Damnation didn't exist and they realized that, holy shit, we don't need to go down this route anymore,
Yeah.
Opeth would still be heavy as fuck, right?
True.
It depends. Did they meet with Stephen Wilson or? Because I think the root cause of it all started with that.
Yeah, probably. Slip something into Acofel's drink. Probably. So, yeah, I'm killing Damnation. I'll end up fucking Ghost Reveries and marrying Blackwater Park. Why not?
Which kind of reminds me, we definitely need. I cannot believe we've not done an Opeth episode yet. Just saying.
The fandom for that band has radically changed,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
Also, there's no way of doing that without pissing everyone off. The ones that like him, the ones that hate him,
Yeah,
the ones
right?
that used to like him and now hate him. Everyone's pissed.
Yeah, it's so weird how Opeth has become like such a divisive band.
Yeah, it's insane. I saw them at Brutal Assault Festival in Czech Republic,
Okay.
and it was a full crowd. There was like 20,000 people there, and you could hear in the 20,000 people complaining, but we're still watching it. But like, I forgot what the Demon of the Fall, was that one of their songs?
Yeah.
They did a acoustic version of it with just Michael at first, and then he stepped out and they had a bass solo. Everyone was still standing there, but everyone was confused. They were like, why is this happening to us?
Were there other bands playing at the same time?
Or
Were they all just standing there because nothing else was happening?
no, nothing else was happening. I think.
There you
Actually,
you
I think
have
Behemoth were setting up on the second stage, but
okay.
there was a couple of smaller bands. I think, and rest in peace, the Black Dahlia Murder was actually in the tent.
Oh, wow.
Alrighty. 3 in, we're getting warmed up. This one's something that Peter's really familiar with. So Adnan, I'd like you to have a shot at this first because the band is Death.
Mm-hmm.
And this will actually tell a lot about you as a person because the
Big
3
time.
albums are Human, Individual Thought Patterns, and The Sound of Perseverance.
How do you kill death?
Oh, man. I'm so glad I didn't have to go first.
I'm glad you didn't put Symbolic in there because that would have completely fucked me up.
I was thinking about it actually.
No.
Because let's leave that one out. Let's leave that. We can't. I'm gonna get like stalkers and stuff chasing me down for this. God, this is hard. I'd marry Sound of Perseverance,
Wow.
fuck Individual Thought Patterns, and kill Human. I'm just basing it on legacy.
What you heard first?
No, just like how much it impacted me.
Ha.
Fair.
And where it sits on like my
On
iconic
your-
meter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of went down that thing, but saying that at the same time, that's still very difficult to say.
This is like the Opeth discussion we just had.
Yeah, exactly. At least it was those 3. Because if you went like Scream, Bloody Gore, Perseverance, and Symbolic, no one would be able to divide those 3.
Okay. All right. It's interesting that you put up Scream Bloody Gore in that trio.
Go on, Animesh. Please let me go after you.
All right, fine. See, there are two trains of thought that I have on this. The subjective and purely personal train of thought puts Sound of Perseverance as marry.
Yeah.
I'll end up killing Human and I'll end up fucking Individual Thought Patterns.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's
so
the
that was-
subjective point of view. Yeah, that's similar to what you just said.
Yeah.
The objective point of view here, however, I would think would be to kill the Sound of Perseverance, to fuck Human, and to marry Individual Thought Patterns.
Oof.
But that's an objective point of view. I'm trying
Yeah.
to think about it, weighing the pros and cons of all the albums, weighing what all the band did and what all came out of the albums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Peter, what do you think?
So I'm
This
gonna-
one's tough.
Yeah,
was really
and the
tough.
thing is, even I was thinking subjective, and like both of you are going to kill me when I say this, but my subjective one is marry Human, fuck Individual Thought Patterns, and kill the Sound of Perseverance. Just again, this is pure the way I kind of enjoy Death, right? But then, like when I was thinking about when you take the rest of the discography and then you kind of map that, right? Fuck, man. Like, how can you kill the Sound of Perseverance? Just the kind of impact that it's had is.
But see, even if you kill the Sound of Perseverance, I think that's fair because Control Denied would still have happened,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I think like even when I'm trying to think objectively, it has, and again, adding the context of just the time that it came out, right? Like that would be one of the. I mean, we've talked on the
Yeah,
podcast before about
exactly.
this.
No, and we know because of the Dead documentary, etc. Too. The Sound of Perseverance is like it's a death album because it had to be released as a death album. Otherwise, it wasn't going to be a death album.
And again, that's where I had to be like, okay, purely subjective. Like I like Yumin more, so that's where I was coming in. But dude, it's like with bands like Death, right? At some point, you're just like, who the fuck am I to comment on this shit, right?
I want to kill them all.
That's the fun of this game, man.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Fine. We'll just stick with your subjective viewpoint at the moment, and that's absolutely okay. Great. We've gone through 4 sets as such. So
and we've only shed a liter of sweat at each one.
only. So now let's get into a new set or a new 2 sets actually. The next 2 sets are about genres and albums within those genres. The first one is Tech Death. Okay. And the 3 albums are Atheist's Unquestionable Presence, Cynic's Focus, and Necrophagist's Epitaph. I'm going to start this one off. I'm killing Necrophagist. I'm fucking Cynic, and I'm marrying Atheist. And that's because Necrophagist is okay.
Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah, it is. It's okay. Now we have a lot of clones. Eventually, metal would head to a point where Necrophagist had taken it. It might not have jumped the way metal did when Necrophagist came around, but eventually it would have reached there. I think Cynic's focus, like the band itself, completely changed, and the focus of Cynics shifted after Focus, which makes and Unquestionable Presences, to me, it's Atheist's best work ever, and that deserves to remain and carry on, because really, who really knows about that band?
So I'm gonna jump in because
please do, because I'm struggling.
Because I say ditto to Animesh, and I'll only like clarify it. So just repeating, marry Atheist, Unquestionable Presence, fuck Focus, Cynic, and kill Necrophagist Epitaph. And the primary reason is, dude, I still remember being blown away by Atheist, Unquestionable Presence. I ended up buying it off a second-hand store thanks to the Relapse doing those reissues of theirs. And honestly, before that, I'd never really heard of them. So the amount of time I spent listening to that album, and now that it's been almost like close to 20 years since that happened, I'll still do that, dude. I could, like, there's something about that album that every time I listen to it, you're just like enjoying, and especially the reissues. I don't know if you have it, Animesh, but just all of that stuff, right? Just the basic drum and bass and all of those other things that you get along with it, right? Like, it just makes you realize that, fuck, this is what they had and this is what really they could be. Focus, yeah, I'm in complete agreement, because like I would say just like the Focus Cynic and Cynic as we know it right now are in like completely different realms, right? I mean, there is like something joining them together, but like I completely view them as different thing. And I don't know, since Animesh is not on social media a lot, I can tell him this, that Cynic's Focus is being remixed. So maybe probably before the end of the year or sometime
another
next year.
remix.
No, this is like a proper one with the band members, and also that's going to be interesting to see.
Just a remix and master, or like they're gonna
like redo their parts? Is it like a
no?
Is it like a Megadeth remaster, or is it like a normal remaster?
Normal, not Megadeth or Ozzy Osbourne. None of that. So yeah.
Okay.
God, you guys are gonna fucking hate me.
Go for it.
I'll keep Necrophagist around.
Okay.
I think I wish they were still around. So kind of part of me wants to marry epitaph just to keep that fucking band alive. But then
That's
I'm
fair.
stuck with the other two. And just based on that, I might have to kill Cynic and fuck Atheist. Just based on that. But Necrophagus was a huge moment for me when I found that band. And the fact, you know that meme, the skull sitting on a bench waiting for the fucking album?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't want that to be part of the narrative anymore. I'm so tired of it. And it meant a lot for the Middle East as well. The guy's name was fucking Muhammad. He was Turkish. Like, we were just like one of us, you know? Like, we had one. We won one.
Represent.
So it was a big deal. So yeah, I think I'll have to kill Focus.
Okay, that's a bitter pill to swallow for me, but
Yeah.
and keep Atheist.
Alrighty, cool. Let's move on to something a bit more current. Actually, no, I can't really say it's current because in 90s are what, 2-3 decades now.
Don't remind
Let's
us.
not talk about dates, you guys.
Yeah, but these are I mean these are whatever. This is what I would call alternative metal.
Okay.
And the 3 albums you have, Peter, start this one off. System of a Down's Toxicity, Tool's Enema, and Rage Against the Machine's Rage Against the Machine.
Fuck, man.
You're like right up my alley there.
Oh, God. Oh, dude. Disclaimer, this is purely subjective and just like what these bands mean to me. So I'll do the process of elimination, right?
Okay.
From these 3, the bands that mean a lot to me, the least amount is Tool Enema, so that has to get killed.
Okay.
System of a Down Toxicity, marry, man. Like, fuck.
Wow. Really?
The strange thing is that YouTube now has fucking knows my mind. Yesterday, I kept listening to like a whole bunch of System of a Down songs, and this is just like purely programmed. It's a different story that like YouTube is trying to get me to listen to Tool, so that will happen the day before. But yeah, it's hard, man. Rage Against the Machine, fuck. I mean, when I'm thinking about it, dude, like that album also, the amount of like aggression and the amount of times it got me through, but at the same time, like I don't want to be that angsty teenager, right? So like just one listen, but System of a Down, yeah, marry.
Alrighty, Adnan, what about you?
Toxicity is and was and still is, and System of a Down in general is a huge part of my life. So I will definitely marry Toxicity. I think that album has just insane. Like when you even the System of a Down in general, when you think about these fuckers only have 4 albums out. Fucking Nervesaw have more than 4 albums. Like how did these guys pull off global domination with like 14 songs basically? So Toxicity, I'll definitely marry. Between Tool and Rage, I'm actually leaning more towards Tool. I always make fun of Tool fans on the stream. Everybody knows this. I make fun of the, it's you don't get it. It's art and it's Fibonacci sequence. Like I hate that Tool fan, but I love Tool and Animesh in General is a great album. So I'd fuck it. I wouldn't go all the way with it. I'll just like a nice one night stand, no strings attached with Tool. And unfortunately would have to kill Rage, even though they're huge. But it wasn't part of my upbringing. It wasn't part of something that I listened to. I only knew, Killing in the Name of, basically, which everyone did. But it wasn't part of like my musical DNA growing up. So I'd have to kill that one.
Now I'm really curious to see Animesh, because I think Animesh set himself up on this one.
I'm marrying Rage. That album deserves to live on, like in perpetuity. Between these 3 albums, that's the only album that deserves to live on and be enshrined in a in like a temple or something, be encased in like stone, buried deep inside the earth so that it exists even when the earth is just maybe pure trash.
Just the
Which
vinyl
it's
spinning in space.
yeah, the reverberations will resonate throughout the galaxies, how many ever more
Yeah.
we find, and people will still respect humanity for that, for being able to say what Rage said on that album. So
Yeah.
that is a complete marry. I'm okay to kill Tool over here and fuck
Wow.
Toxicity because the musicality of Tool on Undertow is better than the musicality on Enema.
Oh.
And if Enema didn't exist, then probably we wouldn't have gotten the Lateralis kind of Tool and the Tool fan, the stereotypical Tool fan kind of Tool. But then again, that's like, I don't know. I'm leaning that way today. This may completely change tomorrow because Enema is not a bad album in that sense.
I was surprised.
I'm trying to, yeah.
Between
like-
System of a Down and Tool, I would have never thought. Just having listened to the podcast, I would have never thought you
Yeah,
went System
dude,
over
I'm
Tool.
shocked.
Honestly,
I'm shocked.
I heard Peter
that's why-
gasp like.
between the two albums, Toxicity is the better album, definitely.
And at somewhere, whoever is listening and has been listening to the podcast is like,
See,
"How dare
but
you,
no, but
Animesh?"
no,
I
but
know.
come on, we've celebrated Toxicity on the
I
podcast.
know.
We've never celebrated any Tool album so far, right? No, we
Yeah.
have. Did we celebrate Lateralis?
No, we haven't as yet.
We haven't. No, I think we did, right?
This is what happens, fellow listeners, when it's 190 episodes.
We have. We have celebrated a Tool album, I think. Yes,
No.
we have. Yes, I was right. So we have celebrated Lateralis. Haha.
Yeah.
See? Mhm. Yeah, this is what happens. I'm gonna leave all of this in because
Of course.
that's exactly our state of mind. Week in and week out. Alrighty, cool. We're done with albums. Let's move into some other topics, some other sets. The next couple of sets is about the live gig or the
Mhm.
live concert.
Yeah.
So over here, if you choose Skill, you'll never see this band perform live ever again. If you choose Marry, you'll continue. Basically, you have an open-ended invite from the band. Come and see us at everywhere, wherever you want, whenever you want. And if you choose Fuck, you'll see them once and then that's it.
Mhm.
You won't get to ever, like, you'll be barred from their concerts. So this one, let's begin with the new wave of heavy metal. 3 bands, purely on the basis of their concerts and live gigs. Gojira, Lamb of God, and Mastodon.
Fuck.
This
Okay.
one's actually easy for me because I'm basing this purely on live gigs. I'm killing Mastodon, I'm fucking Lamb of God, and I'm marrying Gojira. I reward consistency over everything else.
It's a tough one. I have seen all these 3 bands live, and multiple times, and even more recently than a while away. The first time I saw Mastodon was in fucking Dubai Desert Rock Festival,
Yeah, man.
177 years ago. But I got to see them in Europe. I got to see Lamb of God on the Slayer finale tour, just before they called it quits. And I saw Gojira not too long ago in Germany at the Rock am Ring Festival.
Nice.
So based on that, I'm prefacing it because people are going to send hate mail. I would kill Gojira.
Wow.
Ooh. Why?
I would-
Are they that boring to watch?
The few
Or did
times
they
I
just
saw
have
them,
an,
it was
off night.
the few times I saw them. That's why I'm basing it on a few times because Rock am Ring was horrifying. It was an off night for sure. But then the next time I saw them, I just feel like they're not performing to prove anything.
Yeah.
They're just playing their instruments, and I like that. But I like a live show. Like I could listen to the album. If you're tight, you're tight. But I'm not here to just listen to it. I'm here to see a performance. And Lamb of God, that Randy Bly motherfucker made everyone else on that bill. There was Anthrax, there was Warbringer, there was fucking Slayer. Made everyone look old and tired and like they were cover bands. Lamb of God threw down so hard that when Slayer started playing, I went for a beer.
Wow.
And I'm a Slayer fan. Like I'm the cliche Slayer fan. So Lamb of God, I'll marry. I'll see them every day, every night of the year, and I'll fuck Mastodon. They're good live. They're a little eccentric. They do a lot of things that are different than the album and stuff, which would be cool. But I wouldn't see them over and over again.
Okay, Peter.
Okay, so my preface is based on, again, the live experiences that I've had. So I've watched Gojira back in 2010 at the Brutal Assault Festival, and that was like something else. I saw Mastodon, Dubai Desert Rock 2007. Lamb of God, I have to confess, like, even though they played India twice, I wasn't that kicked about like watching them live. So that preface put there, I have to say I have FOMO about missing Lamb of God. Like everything that I've seen since then, because I've actually enjoyed their music recently far more than like their earlier stuff, right? I mean, the earlier stuff is good, but like the newer stuff, and especially like now, they just dropped a new single, Omens. I don't know if you heard that, Animesh. Like when I'm hearing all of that, I'm just like, fuck. And so I'm putting this again. The next thing is in 2022, who's the bands I want to see right now, and I'll do it. I completely agree with Adnan. Like I really would, like, dude, I'll be the merch boy and fucking watch Lamb of God every day for a month if I have to, because like that's the kind of intensity, that's the kind of thing they bring. This is hard, but I have to kill Mastodon because like in 2022, like I did enjoy them back then, and like people who've listened to the podcast know how much I love Crack the Sky and albums like that. But like, do I want to watch that stuff, what they're playing right now? Not really. So I'll kill them. Kujira, fuck. And the primary reason is, dude, the intensity of that. Like, I know 1 week listening to that or even watching them like at a regular interval, I don't think I can kind of fucking handle it. So yeah, that's my reason for Gujira, fuck.
So a spin-off off that, just a question to both of you. When you think of a good live show, is it performance based or tight, like musicality based, or is it a mix of the both?
For me, it has to be a mix of the both. I mean, you can't have one without the other, unless I think the component you're missing out over there is show, which kind of comes in with performance too, but just energy and vibe and stuff. Like, so completely agree with both of you on the kind of energy that Lamb of God shows have. But yeah, you take away Randy Blythe and you take away that kind of energy, you take away the simplicity of their performance as such, even though it's not simple music. But I mean, then 2 songs or 3 songs down into the set, what is it that you're really watching them for? Will they be able to excite you musically or not? I don't know. They don't excite me musically at all. They give me the energy in the first couple of songs, and then that's about it.
Yeah, one of the reasons I asked that is because that same show, that like Slayer farewell tour thing, Lamb of God actually had the least amount of lights and pyro and all that stuff. Anthrax had a bunch. Slayer had like nothing else. Basically, it was just the stage was on fire. Like there was no constantly. Yeah. But one of the things, I was there with my wife, and one of the things we were talking about when we were on the train back home, because this was at the O2 Arena in London, and it was like massive fucking production.
Yeah, that's a huge venue.
And we were talking about, just when everything finished, we were talking about it on the way home, and we were discussing like, what do you, like right now, immediate thoughts and reactions? What do you remember from that show? And both of us at the same time said Lamb of God. And we decided like, you don't go home humming the light show. You know what I mean? You don't go home going, that was a sick fire, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, you just remember the guy fucking backflipping off the drum riser, trying to scream at the same time, which resulted in less of a tight live show musically, but it's the thing that stuck in my head the most.
And just a quick thing to add, like I remember, like back then I didn't get it because I had not watched that many concerts internationally, right? I mean, talking about Dubai Desert Rock 2007, and I think Adnan will also remember this. It's like Macedon didn't even interact with the crowd.
No, and they still
like
don't. They don't really
flew
do that.
Halfway across the world, there's these guys from Dubai who are like fucking losing their shit, and they just like, next song, next song. And I was just like, are they nervous or something? And then like a friend of mine told me that's their thing. Like they just do that.
Yeah.
And that is really like off for me, right? Because like that's where I give credit. Like fuck, for all we say about the intensity of Gujarat, at least they say, hey, whatever, whichever country.
Yeah, at
right?
least, yeah, exactly. They seem to want to be there.
Yeah. So just wanted to add that in.
Yeah, and I come from the hardcore background where it's like Randy jumps in the crowd and gives him a microphone. Like that's the interactivity that does it for me. That's the kind of thing. And I keep mentioning Randy, but like Mark Morton and the rest of the guys, Art now instead of what's his name, Chris Adler. But they all fucking like throwing sticks in the middle of the set and down to the crowd. Like it's just that kind of stuff.
Lamb of God is a party.
It's a party. Yeah. It's a, and they come from a hardcore background. I think that's why I relate to they're not really playing hardcore music at all. It's more like mellow death mixed with hardcore vocals, weird shit, new wave of American metal. But the energy they bring is like a small hardcore band that just started out that wants the crowd to sing along. Like that's the kind of stuff that I felt.
It's music that appeals, like out of the three, it's the most animalistic music, which will appeal to all of our animalistic senses.
Yeah,
that's a good word. Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty, let's move on to the next set, which I've dubbed a new lease of live.
Wow. Okay. Color me interesting.
T-shirts being made as we speak.
Okay, so this one has in their most recent avatars someone like a band which we've still to see, but Pantera, the new Pantera, Alice in Chains, or the new Alice in Chains, and the last lineup for Slayer. Which one did the new lease of live the best?
Who wants to take this first?
Obviously, the bigger Slayer fan. I mean, you saw them on their farewell tour, so I think it's fair you go for it, Adnan.
Yeah, in that group, Pantera, Alice in Chains, Slayer, even with Gary Holt and who was on drums for that one?
Bostaff.
Yeah, Paul Bostaff. I mean, Paul Bostaff he is Slayer at that point. I mean, he's been in it for like fucking 20 years. It's like Rob Trujillo, people still saying the new guy. He's been there longer than Jason. I would see, it's hard because I would kill the new Pantera. I don't want to see Pantera without Diamond Vinny, and I find that the fact that Vinny went very openly saying that there will never be a Pantera without my brother, and then they waited till Vinny fucking died to say we're bringing Pantera back, when everybody knows that Vinny didn't want it to happen. Dime and the Darrow brothers like had beef with Phil. there was a lot of these issues. So once I find the disrespect. I think they should do it, but call it like Cowboys from Hell or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, absolutely. I
something
completely agree with you.
a little spin off of it, and go play covers with 2 original members. It's not 2 surviving members of Pantera bring the band back. That's not how I see it. So I would kill the new Pantera. I would. Fuck. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'd marry Slayer. Fuck Alice in Chains.
I'm absolutely down with that entire opinion. You said all that I needed to say, or all that I've been meaning to say about the new Pantera 2. Doesn't need to exist, especially with the Pantera name. Yeah.
When they announced it, I genuinely thought, it was those like the Onion website and what was the other one? There's like a metal version of
Hard Times.
The Hard Times. I genuinely thought it was a Hard Times article.
Mm-hmm.
Like Phil and Rex, surviving members of Pantera, bring the band back. What? No. That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Absolutely. Yeah. So kill Pantera, fuck Alice in Chains, marry Slayer. I didn't get to see Slayer in there. Like, I got to see Slayer, thankfully, with Lombardo instead of Paul Bostaph.
Lombardo and Jeff?
Yeah, no, Lombardo and Gary Hall.
Okay.
Yeah, and fuck were they, like, it's the most intense show ever, because they played a 2.5-hour set without any breaks.
Yeah.
Like machines, man. Obviously, with interactivity too, with a great performance. And Alice in Chains, very good. Even with Duvall, they're really, really, really good. But how many times will you go back and listen to what Black Gives Way to Blue?
Yeah.
Or whatever, the Dinosaur album, etc.
That was exactly my thought process. I was like, just to like make way for the live thought, how many times do I actually play them back to back as a record? I was like, not that fucking many.
Like, if I'm going to see an Alice in Chains concert again today, I'll probably still want to hear the earlier part.
Yeah.
The discography featuring Lane rather than any other song that Duvall has come up with. Yeah. But still, a great band. Peter.
I don't want to get hate, but come on, dude. Like, I think that was a pretty unanimous thing. I mean, I don't want to talk more about new Pantera. Fuck that. Like, I think enough ink has been spilled about that. Enough airtime has been dedicated to that. You kind of summarized, like, everyone knows how big of an Alice in Chains fan I am, but I still go back and listen to like the Unplugged, dude. That fucking album is a fucking masterpiece in there. I mean, I think I've heard the Alice in Chains Unplugged more than the Nirvana one, and just how fucking dark it is. But that's not like Alice in Chains now, right? Like, there's like that whole kind of more upbeat kind of thing. So I don't know. It's kind of weird for me. Slayer, come on. Like, again, I have FOMO about missing Slayer in India, right? And this is the kind of shit, like, at this point where I've decided, right? Like, band shows up to India, I'm buying tickets. I don't want to ever feel that, oh, fuck, I could have been at that gig anymore, right? And I think that's one of the things sitting at home for the last 2 years has taught me. So, man, Slayer for sure.
Cool. It took us, what?
8
sets to finally reach a unanimous point. Not bad. Not bad at all.
So just whoever's keeping count, just for the record. So I will kill Pantera, fuck Alice in Chains, and of course, marry Slayer.
Nice. Cool. Let's move on to the final 2 sets. And this one's a bit different because this one's about band members.
What?
Yeah.
This is like...
Before you say anything, I'm killing Dave Mustaine.
It's so weird that you say that. Because 1 second. You didn't know the options. The first one I have is about vocalists, and the options are Dave Mustaine, Vince Neil, and Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh man.
Are
Yeah.
you still killing Dave Mustaine?
I am. I would still.
You
especially-
still pick Vince Neil over Dave Mustaine?
I would fuck Vince Neil. In the game, you guys. In the game.
Listen, I don't want to be like politically incorrect, but
We found a promo line for the episode, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I would fuck Vince Neil. Marry. You said Ozzy, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Ozzy Osbourne. I know a lot of people give him shit for his voice and stuff, but I just think that it's so unique and so legendary and so like odd that I've always grown up with loving it. And the fact that motherfucker is like
Still
half foot in the grave and still releasing, featuring Tony Iommi. What the fuck? You just go to sleep, bro. Like, chill.
What a weird song that was. I checked it out. That entire song is about masturbation.
I don't even
Dude,
know what's
I'm
going
telling
on.
you, like, let's be honest, right? Like, we may pass and Ozzy will still be alive.
Dude, I get exhausted just watching him work. Like his just the behind the scenes for that music video that he just released, where like people are carrying him and putting him in the green screen. I'm like, fuck, why are you doing this, man? Just go like be a granddad. Don't worry about it. You're good. You've made enough money. But that also like tugs at my heartstrings where I'm like, I fucking respect the shit out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am a musician through and fucking through, and he'll literally, he said he'll make music till the day he dies, and I think he's really pushing the boundaries. And Dave Mustaine had a lot of people say the exact same thing that I said about Ozzy about Dave. That it's a unique voice, it's a different approach, and all that stuff. But I think if you decouple it from the guitar work, it's not something that I can listen to. Like the package of the guitar work and his voice and a Megadeth kind of thing as a whole, I could understand. But if it's just his voice, I'm not a fan of it.
Okay, Peter.
Holy crap. So I think everyone's kind of got the hint that I'll also marry Ozzy, and like, dude, whatever you want to say, man. Like the fact that he's done stuff with Sabbath, he did solo stuff. The guy basically has a knack for finding great guitarists also, right? Like, let's be honest. Like,
yeah,
he just gets these great guitarists in there. So fuck, dude. I mean, like purely vocals. Yeah, dude. Like I think, let's be honest, if it wasn't for Sabbath, how much later would we discover metal, right? In there. And just the fact that you've had impact on so many subgenres of metal. So yeah.
And arguably one of the people that actually started the odd sound that led into growling and stuff like that. So
yeah. So Ozzy for sure. Fuck, I never thought ever I'd have to choose between Mustaine and Vince Neil. Like, but despite everything that Adnan said about Mustaine, man, like I like Motley Crue, but no, man, Vince Neil, sorry, you're getting killed.
You don't want
Mustaine.
him to kickstart my heart.
Yeah, like that's probably what I'll have to do if I fuck him, right? So yeah, man, Mustaine, and I think that's the thing, right? Like if I have to listen to Mustaine once and then never again, I'm okay with that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's the same filter that I use too. I'm okay to listen to Mustaine once, and then that's it. That's fine. Hopefully, he'll perform really well on that particular day. I don't want to listen to Vince Neil ever again.
Dude, and especially you won't sing French, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm going to marry Ozzy only to try and find out what his blood is like. Like it'll probably like if we take his blood samples and give it to a standard diagnostic lab, the diagnostic lab will have to shut down because all the machines will start malfunctioning or something.
Or you know how that whole thing, and fuck, I can't believe we're making such stuff, but this is us talking shit. You know how they talked about like these VCs in I don't know. Have you both of you seen Silicon Valley?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't.
So you remember the VC in Silicon Valley was basically getting blood transfusion from these younger guys to keep on.
Uh-huh.
I think basically that's what Ozzy does in real life, right? Like that's the reason.
It's from all the fucking young guitarists he finds. He just
Oh God.
He'll end up like Ozzy will end up giving the bats coronavirus. Yeah,
God.
sorry. Yeah, okay, cool. So, the last set of this edition of Kill, Marry, Fuck is all about the bassist.
Yes.
And so there are 3 bassists for you to choose from, right? And this is again supremely easy or very, very, very tough, depending on how much of a fan you are of the band, because the bassists in question are Cliff Burton, Jason Newsted, and Robert Trujillo.
Fuck, man.
God damn it.
I'm actually distraught at this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm killing Trujillo.
Hmm.
I'm killing Trujillo.
Like
I want to
again,
marry Jason
Sorry.
so bad.
Trujillo in Metallica or Ozzy, which Trujillo are you choosing?
You have to take it in context with the others, no? At the moment, Trujillo, insanely good bassist, but like, do you remember a Trujillo bass line?
In Suicidal, yeah.
In Suicidal, definitely.
What was that funk band they had?
Infectious
Grooves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that is just all bass. there's nothing else.
I think my love for Jason Newsted is like,
I know.
see, objectively, you will have to kill Jason, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean,
It's really hard.
I love how, by the way, Animesh sets himself up. Like if
Yeah.
it was me, full disclosure, I would make at least like few of these easy for me. Animesh, no.
Fuck it. In the context of Metallica, I'm killing Robert Trujillo. I'm fucking Cliff Burton and I'm marrying Jason Newsted. Only because I'm such a huge Jason Newsted fan in Metallica. Yeah. Outside Metallica, if you consider their life and their discography, etc., then I'm sorry, Jason gets killed. Cliff Burton probably gets married and Robert Trujillo gets fucked. No, maybe it can be the other way around too, because Robert's body of work is just so much more comprehensive. I don't know, man. Fuck, this is a really tough one.
So my thought process is exactly like you said. It's through the like Metallica discography thing. Cliff set up everything. Jason was our first love of a bassist. Our generation fell in love with bass.
Yeah.
Because of that motherfucker. He was a great performer, like live shit with his undercut and the fucking windmills. Like, who hasn't seen that iconic bassist?
Yeah.
But you can't discredit Trujillo. He saved us from fucking Saint Anger. He came back with Death like, can you imagine if it was Bob Rock on the rest of the fucking albums? Like, Trujillo gave us Death Magnetic at least. He gave us 20 more years of Metallica playing live.
Oh man, the way you put it that way. Like
I really don't think that was a Trujillo decision.
It wasn't true, but his definitely, if you watch the behind the scenes and stuff, his energy came in, his energy kicked in. He was
definitely, yeah, I agree on that part, but fuck, I thought this would be easy, you know.
Oh shit. Okay, let me go with my quick thoughts. And this is just like disclaimer, not musician, right? So just like pure what I've seen and the whole package, right? Fuck, I would like to marry Jason, dude. Like, I would love to have seen like if Jason stuck around in Metallica, what would have happened, right? I mean,
I don't
okay.
think Saint Anger would have happened the way it happened.
Mean, I was just taking a pause for that, but yeah, Saint Anger would have not happened in there. So I would love to marry Jason just for that. Fuck Cliff Burton, and unfortunately, like in the continuous thing is when you look at it from a Metallica perspective, like Rob Trujillo gets killed. Although it should be the other way around. Like I feel we should all want to marry Rob Trujillo. Like whatever you do not leave this band. Like
I think I would have genuinely thunk that a lot of people would end up. I think the popular vote amongst here would be Cliff Burton gets married.
Yeah.
Robert Trujillo gets, and then between Trujillo and Jason depends on when you got into Metallica.
Yeah.
But here's my theory, right? I mean, if we were all
this is the toughest one.
Like, because here's my theory, right? If we were like, say, even 5-7 years older and we heard like some of that early stuff, right? Or I don't know, by some virtue were not born in our respective countries and were born in the States, then we would have seen Cliff. Then it's like, dude, marry. Like, that's what I feel with like a lot. I mean, think of all those guys who are like Metallica, first 4 albums, nothing else. Like, those are those guys, right? Although now they are the ones who take their kids and fund their Metallica gig tickets and all of that, right?
Absolutely.
At Lollapalooza. Fuck, did you see that video, Animesh?
I haven't, no.
Which video?
So the reason why Metallica's like become popular again and charting Master of Puppets and stuff is because of Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
So at Lollapalooza backstage, the guy who plays that the guitar parts for Master of Puppets in Stranger Things, he goes backstage and meets Metallica, and then he jams with them also on Master of Puppets. It's fucking epic. Like,
see, that's why Metallica remains awesome, right?
Yeah.
And they always do that kind of stuff. Anything, and I think this is a great sense of who they are as a band, but also an insanely well thought out and very meticulous like marketing team. Because do you remember like Heavy Metal in Baghdad, the DVD that they did about the Iraqi band Akraskoda? When that fucker went to the States, a week in the States, they get invited to a Metallica backstage and they get handed a guitar by James Hetfield. And he said, "Welcome to America, keep going, never stop." That video went more viral than the fucking documentary.
By the way, just like I think the marketing team is not changed, because that's exactly what they did for the kid or the guy from Stranger Things. Like, they were like, this is your guitar, we can ruin it by signing, and he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's the exact same line James used, by the way. Here's a nice guitar, but if you want me to fuck it up, I could sign it for you.
Wait, what? So, I mean, I think if we've come to a consensus, I would just want to quickly check with Adnan.
I don't know if we've come to a consensus.
Okay.
No, because I was going to say Cliff. I get the love for Cliff. I completely understand. Cliff Amal, everybody, if you top 10 bassists, metal bassists of all time, 9 out of 10 people will probably have Cliff in their top 10.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my first love of bassist. Like that's not the image that I see as my first, like, who was the first time you saw a metal bassist fucking doing his thing was Jason Newsted. And as much as I appreciate the work that he did in the actual albums, I also, just like Trujillo, commend Jason for stepping in right away, jumping on the fucking tour, being hazed for 20 years. That guy was the Metallica scapegoat and stuck it out and did his thing. So I would love, like, when he announced that he was doing the Jason Newsted solo album, I was fucking excited. I was like, I want more Jason. So I would probably marry Jason. And I don't want to kill Cliff, but but he did his part, and it's unfortunate that he left early and it ended the way it is, but I don't see the live shit. I don't see that Cliff era stuff. I just wasn't around it. I don't even know what Cliff era kind of full concerts there are, because that just wasn't my upbringing. And so I would probably say rest in peace Cliff and fuck Trujillo, just for sticking around and just being the beast of a bassist that he is, and having to probably play frantic once a night still.
And with that, we've completed this edition of Kill, Marry, Fuck. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you guys playing at home had fun. Hope
Don't send us hate mail.
Hope we've given. Hope even if you want to send us hate mail, that's absolutely fine. Hope we've given you guys enough to fight with us about. If you intend to doing that, it's very easy. You can just reach out to us at honsubpod.com or on Twitter at honsubpod. I'm on Twitter at Asmawani.
I'm at Trend Crusher.
And everything Unmuted show everywhere.
Mm-hmm. You've got some other stuff as well coming up, right?
So basically, I started. I've always written music in one way or another, whether it was for Svengali or just jamming with a bunch of different people and stuff. So, our producer, aka Derpy, everyone knows her as the person that yells at me whenever we're streaming, said she yelled at me again and said, "You should just release these songs and ask a few of the people that we got to know along the way if they want to be featured on the songs or anything like that." And I asked Abzi first, the guy from Wazn, beautiful Kuwaiti Bahraini prog metal band that won our Unmuted Battle of the Bands, and then I asked Mark Hunter from Chimera, a band that I idolize. I stole most of my vocal techniques from him, and then I went on Twitch and stole most of his Twitch ideas and implemented them on ours. I asked him if he'd be down to jump on a song, and he did. And we're gonna keep going. I'm planning to release at least one song every couple of months, as just like a creative outlet thing. And I put it under the name Unmuted because it still has that community vibe to it, where I at least have one guest or something on each song, and it's very it's fueled by the community. So why not keep it under the same brand kind of thing.
Fantastic. And what's the easiest way to check all of this out? Would it be your Linktree link? Would it be
unmuted.show? That's all.
Unmuted.show.
Yep, it's unmuted.show on just on any browser, and it'll take you to the website, and then at Unmuted Show on any of the platforms.
There you have it.
Hell yeah. Still thinking about fucking Cliff and
oh well, sweet dreams.
I was just thinking, since you talked about the collaboration, who would you get from the three bassists to collaborate with you on Unmuted? Let's end on that.
Jason.
Okay, fair. That was not hard.
Yeah.
I'd actually get Cliff or Robert to collaborate with. Jason, I just want to hang out with.
Yeah, that's kind of why I want to collaborate with him. I just want him in the studio so we can hang out.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Pay him enough money to just do that. I think he wouldn't mind. The others, you have to work for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially Cliff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, boys. Horns up.
Horns up, everyone.